Hi, so glad you're here. Okay, so today I am going to do a little demo on how to use your Air 360 from T3. Because I've been hearing a lot from clients that even though they see the beautiful tutorials from T3, they still have trouble trying to figure out how to properly use the curling part of the blow dryer. So I decided to bring mine home and do a step-by-step on how to use it. And by the way, it comes in this beautiful like leather bag, and it's quite big. I love it. It's a nice travel bag. But anyway, so one of the things that I've noticed that with my clients is if they have really fine, very thin hair and they don't have a lot of density, power drying it too much and removing too much of the moisture out of the hair kind of does not help when they're doing their blow drying, because you have to remember you're actually blow drying your hair and this is curling it for you instead of like using a round brush and then going in and using a curling iron. So you're getting it all in one step with one tool. So when you have really sparse, really thin, really fine hair, and you don't have a lot of density, I wouldn't power dry your hair too much. Just really like towel dry it and kind of air dry it a little bit so it's not super wet either, because you don't want it super wet. That's like the best way. So that way it really will curl and volumize and it'll last. That's the thing. You want it to last. And for my girls that have like super long hair, they have a lot of density, their hair is really heavy, the best way to do this is you're going to want to do smaller sectioning areas. So you want to do smaller sectioning. You really want to power dry your hair and get a lot of moisture out. Not where it's completely dry either. You want like at least 80% dry. And then you want to section out the hair and make smaller subsections as well. So smaller sectioning, that's going to be the way to go through it. So today I'm going to do it as if I had heavy long hair, just to kind of give you an idea of how that works. So that way, it could be a little bit easier for you. And you could see how I'm doing it. Now, first, I want to say, if you ever notice, let me put this down. If you ever notice on your rollers, on the rods, there's an arrow. So the arrow will determine the direction of where the air is gonna be going. So it just depends on how you want to style it. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually split my hair in half. I'm going to do small subsectionings and then little section areas. So that way you could see. Now this, it would be, okay, so it's this way because I wanted to go out that way. You could even if you wanted to, you could even, if you kind of wanted to have the beachy wave, you could do one section going one direction, then grab the other one and switch off the rod and then go another direction. You could always do that too. But today, just to kind of simplify, I'm going to do one section going one direction and the other section going the other direction. So that way you can see. So again, you want to look at your arrows. So my arrows need to be facing that way. So yeah, this arrow is facing that way. So it's almost good too. And I usually have to separate them from a section. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prep my hair because that's really important. I'm going to use some leave-in conditioner. My favorite, Kevin Murphy. Never leave home without it. Heat protectant. I just do one scoop. See? That should be enough. Emulsify your hands. Run it through to the ends. And then finger comb it through from roots to ends. And I always just kind of like to kind of do like a little sandwiching there. Okay. And then after I do this, it's always a good idea to get your comb and the wide side part, you want to just kind of brush it through to make sure that you have even distribution. You know what I mean? I can't. I'm like all tongue twisted today. Of your product within your hair, because sometimes when you apply it, sometimes it could just be like right on one spot. So you want to make sure that you have it evenly distributed through the hair. There we go. I got it. But and then my hair is pretty wet right now, so I am going to power dry. So now that I've power dried, I'm going to split this in the middle. And always, one side is always so much easier. I don't know why, but it is. One side is always easier to blow dry versus the other. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and put it off to the side. Now, because I'm going to work on this one. So I'm going to take, I don't know if you can see that. Here's one subsection. Here's one piece. So if you have long hair, really long hair, and it's heavy, you want to take about this much down. It's going to take a little longer, but it's going to last you, especially if you don't really wash your hair that often. So that'll really help. So, let me start off here and remove this one. And I ran out of, I took all my other clippies home. Not home, I took them to work. Oh, well, there goes that. Okay. I'll just put them right here. Okay. So, this is my section. My arrow is facing that way. Yeah, this is my left side. I had to think for a second. So now I'm just going to turn this on. And this is just going to suck up the hair into the rod. Now sometimes when you have longer hair and it's thicker, it's not going to roll. So you want to split this in half. And then roll it in. And you can help it and feed it in there as well. So, the next section, which is the pink one. Not you. Oh, sorry, this is just such a mess. Okay, there we go. And again, I'm going to take another little small section here. affects your hair. You might have too much in the rod, so you might want to make it a little thinner so that way it'll really kind of curl and dry evenly, you know what I mean? So I think I have like too much in there. Oh, no, it's nice and dry. Okay. Never mind. And this I'm going to split. Again. And don't get freaked out about it being too curly, because if you, so honestly, the minute like you just go about your day, it'll start kind of settling down. And if you're like me, that you don't really wash your hair every day, it's definitely going to settle, and I don't want to say it'll flatten, but it'll settle down, and every day it'll look better and better, because you'll just have all this body without having to do much, like, you know, maybe just touch it up just a little bit, but you'll honestly, it'll work that much better for you if you do it this way. Because I don't know about you, but every time like I curl my hair, by the end of the day, it doesn't even look like I curled it. It's like all flat. So this kind of helps me to have my hairstyle all week long. Again, because I wash my hair once a week. Maybe I wash it twice, but mostly once a week. I get kind of lazy about washing it. I'm gonna blow dry it. I'm gonna style it. Sorry, it's because I'm trying to look, because I have this right there in front of the mirror. So I can't really see myself except through the camera. I just love how it does that. I just put the hair in there. See how this time I took that little section a little thinner than I did that previous one. So it rolled up just nicely in there, because my hair is pretty long. So, so you want to do that. You don't want it to be too thick that you're going to roll up, because then it's harder for it to go into the roller, or, you know, for it to suck it in there to blow dry. Yeah, see my belly. Now, if you don't want it to be too curly around the face, this is what I do. I kind of roll it in, kind of smooth it, and I kind of just keep doing this and bringing it forward. And then I'll just start, see how I kind of like stretch it out. So it's not like going really curly right there. And so that's how I kind of stretch it out a bit right there. So I don't have it like a little curly Q right at my face frame. Sorry, I'm just making sure it doesn't fall off the counter. I didn't, it's working because I'm taking a smaller section to roll, so it's going inside much better. Now, I don't want to get this part like too curly, like at the root. I want it to just kind of go a little lower, so I'm pulling it out more. See, another one, two. And then I do this to kind of give it a little volume. Just kind of want to bounce it up, and then I start rolling up those ends. Roll it in. I mean, honestly, it does save you time because usually you have to blow dry your hair with the round brush. Get it all nice and smooth. There we go. I do this to give it more volume. See how I kind of lift it up at the root a little bit so it can dry? And then I roll up those ends. Oh, it looks like I'm going to have to feed it. There we go. And feed it back and forth. I'm going to have to blow dry that with a blow dryer. Or like kind of, I don't know, control it. But whatever. It'll tame down and then I'll just... Okay, so see how I got it. Okay, so what I like to do is a little hairspray on it. And now I'm going to go and I'm going to do this side. I would like to double check to make sure everything is like nice and dry. Because sometimes, you know, you don't really, sometimes it won't dry very well. Because you're like me, I'm always rushing through. So I'm like, you know. And then afterwards like, oh, it's still... That's, you know, it's still a little damp and kind of wet. And then it causes it to frizz. I do this also with just like any blow drying. Blow drying or even like just styling my hair. I'm always like in a hurry. And I'm like always trying to rush out. So I sometimes it does, and then by the time I get to work, it's like all frizzy, and then I have to redo it again. Just making more work for myself. I don't know why I do that. So just making sure it's all fully dry. No, I'm in a hurry. Half the time it's because I'm stuck in traffic. I want to get out before I get like really bad traffic. Okay. It might be a little too thin, but let's go for it. See, too big. Because my hair is, it's pretty long. And I do have quite a bit of density, so, I have to make sure that there's enough hair that's fitting inside the rod to do this. And honestly, it's only when I do it this way, curling it in this manner. Because the other one, it's a little different, so it's a little bit more forgiving, because you can do different ways of how you're gonna like curl and set your hair. And I think that's the thing. This is like really setting the hair, which is very different from like when you're using the curling iron. So that's that. Now we're gonna spray all of this. You could even tilt your head back like this, and then you lift and spray, just gently lifting and picking up your hair. This will help to give you a little bit more volume, because I think all of this like are kind of false. Okay, so now we're gonna wait till it cools off a bit. So now that it's cooled down, I like to take a wide tooth comb. I got this one at Ulta. It's the Cricut. So I kind of like this one to kind of break up the curl a bit, and this to kind of give me wave. Okay, now I'm breaking mine up because I don't want it to be too curly. Now, if you have really long, heavy hair, I would suggest not breaking it up that first day. Just, like if you're going to go somewhere, I would probably do it later. I gotta do something about this. This is too much. Okay, so let's see. See? You could use the same rod just by flipping it over. It's not going to be, Just don't burn yourself. So I have like a couple clients that they have really long hair. Their hair is like way longer than mine. This one I went too up high. See, when you go up too high on the root, then it just like gets really curled. But see, once I always tuck my hair behind my ear, so it doesn't really matter. It'll just kind of settle down. But what I was going to say is, if you have really, really thick, dense hair, and it's really kind of heavy and long, I wouldn't break it up. I would wait to break it up. I would probably sleep on it and just let the day kind of just let it settle. So that way it'll kind of last you for a couple days with the wave and just the body. That's just my suggestion. But why not? Like, you could still break it up, and then in the morning it'll still settle down, because all this will be more settled down by tomorrow. See, like this side, I probably could have done more. And you can go back. Like, let's say you need more. You just go, I think I took smaller sections on this side versus this side. I think when I got to the top, I think my sectioning was a lot smaller. So as you can see, those little stubs, those little pieces you take in there make a huge difference for your end result. But sometimes you get tired. But I hope this kind of helps out a little bit, especially when it comes to like sectioning off the hair. But see, I'm using the same rod that I use on this side. So you do this. Or if I was to do the other one, I can go like this. But you can go either way, or and that helps. But sometimes it's really difficult to blow dry your hair like this. So that's why it's just easier doing that. But if for a little quick fix, that makes it. So this will last me, and it'll settle down, and it'll look nice. I mean, it'll be today's Friday. No, sorry, today's Thursday. So my hair will still look good. My next Tuesday, it'll still look good. I might not even wash my hair on Tuesday when I go to work. Who knows? Let's see. But it can last you for a couple days. I had a client that hers lasted all week, and it just kind of morphed, and it just kind of stayed with a lot of body and wave throughout the week. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to show you another way of using this, probably in a few weeks, on how to use the rods. And not only that, but I'm going to show you the whole system on like how you can use it. So if you have any questions, or you're having your own like issues, like kind of like figuring it out and manipulating the hands to use it, please leave a comment. You can send me a message. I'm more than happy to help you. We could even maybe do a little Zoom or something, a little FaceTime, when I could, show you. Or you can come and visit me and bring your tools to the salon, and I'll help you figure out how to use them properly. Well, you guys have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.